All right, so let's go ahead and create the 2 remaining pages for our wireframe. So let's just rename this here to home, and then we'll go ahead and replicate this with left clicking, dragging, and holding Alt and Shift over to the right. And this one is going to be the add types subpage. Don't hit escape like I did, hit enter. There we go, because that won't save or commit your changes. All right, so what we'll do is just delete everything here, but we are going to leave the footer down there. If you wanted to, by the way, you could create components out of this part, but these are so simple. We're not making design iterations essentially on those factors or those elements of the design anyhow. So we don't have to do that. So we'll put add types. And now we have to figure out how we can create a layout that conveys the information based on the add types. So let's go over this again. So we offer the following add types for advertisers to choose from. Each should have a description. So first type is banners, and banners offers these different banner sizes. So these are essentially features of this add type right here. All the add types, of which there are 4, have a title and a feature. Like for video, they offer the services of Vimeo, YouTube, Vidzo1, Reels, Crypt, etc. For the next ad type of influencers, the feature of this ad type are these people, and then so on and so forth. So we can illustrate this here on desktop in sort of like a 3-column approach within a row for each, or a card for each of the 4 types. So the 3 columns, I'm thinking the first one would be the add type. So this would be in the first column of the card. And then the second column will be the actual description, because each one should have a description, although there's no description here. So we can put just lorem ipsum text. And then finally, we can have a features column that lists out the feature associated with each one of these. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we'll just put right here, add type name or something like that. So this is where it will say banners, whatever. We'll duplicate this and we'll put in description. And then we will duplicate this, and over here, we will put in features. So in this card, so to speak, it will have the add name. And we could probably duplicate this and just show an example. So this will be like banners. The description will be here for this part. Let's left align this. We can right click and choose lorem ipsum and simply generate right there. And then we can increase this. Oops, there we go. Increase that a bit. All right, so there's a description. And then finally, we can have our features associated with this particular element here. So let us do this instead. We'll duplicate this. And what size is that? 24. We'll keep these the same font sizes just for now. And then what we can do is simply delete that, hit enter, delete that. These will just all be kind of on their own line, essentially. And there we go. So then what we can do is just take this, we'll duplicate it 2 more times. And that gives you an idea of the structure of the add types page. So now we could take this, move it up, and there we go. Again, it's going to look much, much better than this when we get to the actual page, or the actual high fidelity design. Now we have one more unique page to design for, and that's for starting a campaign. And this is essentially where this is the primary call to action that we would want. We want new advertisers to come in. And so let's delete all this. And if we go back to the client brief, starting a campaign form, we want a page or / form where advertisers can fill out a form to start a campaign, and these are the fields we want. A campaign name, a URL, and a budget you know, maybe starting at $100 all the way up to like 50,000 or 100,000. And also feature this text somewhere near the form, blah, 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 blah. And it seems like I should put a end quote there. So yeah, there's a couple sentences to put along with the campaign form itself. So on desktop, I'm thinking we can have 2 columns to feature the form and then this information right here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll put, let's just replicate this block right here. And the form can go on the left. That's the most important information. And then we'll have the description, which we could just quickly copy and paste in. Let's use the other size we've been using, 24. Maybe we'll push this over just a bit and create more of like a 2/3 layout right here for these 2 columns. And then right here we can put in form. Now if you wanted to, you could put in the actual form fields as well. That's completely fine, but pretty explanatory based on their very simple needs for their form. There's just going to be 2 text elements with a range slider. And so we will create that in the high fidelity prototype. And so there we go. So as you can see, very simple. It really gives you a solid idea though, before you commit all this time to creating a high fidelity mockup, only to have your boss or your client say, hey, this all needs changed. And so we knock that out very quickly. You can knock it out even quicker in the context of an app like this, because I'm sitting here talking the whole time. You could even do it faster if you enjoy working on pen and paper or something like that, which a lot of people do. It's just a very quick way to get a top level understanding of the structure of the layout. And it's a very important step for projects that have stakeholders and also projects that are more on, you know, the complex side or intermediate to complex side. For a very simple landing page, just to capture an email, it's not always necessary, especially if you're not working with a client of some sort. All right, so now in the next section, we're going to get started with the real fun stuff. We're going to focus on the desktop version. Remember, we're going to create a tablet and mobile version later on in this course, but we're going to get started with the desktop version, specifically with this hero section, and we will work our way down progressively as we build out. It looks like these got moved a little bit. As we build out the design system while we design.